Hello and welcome. If you're somebody who can afford bags from brands like Givenchy, Fendi, Prada, Balenciaga, Gucci, for example, but you're at that stage where you would like something different possibly because you would like a different range of styles, possibly enhanced designs, innovation that's gone into the crafting of the bag, a higher level of finish, then I have an absolutely wonderful French brand I'd like to introduce to you called Prouès by David Hanna. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on higher quality, under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. When I first discovered Prouès by David Hanna, I didn't like the hardware, and I just couldn't look past the hardware and appreciate the designs. Their designs are classic, they're elegant, they're versatile. They're literally bringing much needed variety into the leather goods space. But what kept me coming back to the brand again and again was the fact that they have two boutiques in the world. One in Paris in France, and the second in Japan, in a city called Nagoya. And the Japanese are some of the most discerning luxury consumers in the world. So that immediately put the brand on my radar. And what I found even more fascinating was the fact that they chose to open a boutique in Nagoya. The majority of luxury brands, when they are opening a boutique in Japan, they'll typically go for low-hanging fruit cities like Tokyo or Osaka or Kyoto, for example, where they have an abundance of footfall, traffic, and there is money. But the fact that they chose Nagoya is the fourth largest city in Japan by population. It's a manufacturing and shipping hub. It's Toyota's manufacturing hub in Japan. And it has a fairly thriving but really underrated food scene. They have a good number of museums. It's a great place to spend time. And I thought, gosh, they have gone for a really underrated city, just like the brand. And it made me think, the brand very confidently holds its own. You merely need to place it where you have the footfall, you have people, and you also have money. And it'll literally stand out and attract the attention it deserves because the products are beautiful. And so the last time I was in Paris, I made it a point to schedule my appointment with the boutique first thing in the morning, because I have a tendency of, as the day progresses and I start to feel a little tired, I'll put off a meeting until the next time I'm in Paris. And I thought, I'm already struggling with the hardware. I may eventually forget the brand, it'll fall off my radar. And so I scheduled my appointment first thing in the morning. And their boutique in Paris is located in the Golden Triangle. And the boutique is literally moments, not even 2 minutes walk away from the flagship Louis Vuitton boutique. And I remember when I walked into the boutique, it's the first time I've ever walked into a leather goods boutique and literally been stunned into silence. What immediately caught my attention was just the color, the abundance of color that they use. I really like color, and they use a lot of very bold, outstanding colors. But what really caught my attention was the bags looked expensive. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a whole different level to what I'd actually anticipated, what I had imagined in my mind's eye. And I thought to myself, the pictures on their website are beautiful, incredibly professional, but they really don't do justice to the bags and just how expensive they look. But the cherry on top was I noticed a couple of styles in the legendary Novo Napa leather from Haas Tannery. And I immediately liked the hardware because the richness of the the calfskin just beautifully offset the boldness of the palladium hardware. And I was like, okay, I get it. This really works well. They complement each other incredibly well. And then I literally just had to pick myself up and engage with the assistant because I was just so stunned and I wasn't expecting to see what I was met by, the beauty of the products in the showroom. Prouès by David Hanna is a privately run family business owned by David and his wife, Natalie Hanna. And they run the business together with their 2 daughters alongside a team of 300 artisans. The business is based in the center of France, in an area that's not too far from Limoges called Niern. And within Niern, they have a number of workshops dotted around the greater area. Monsieur Hanna hails from a family of saddle and harness makers. He started his apprenticeship at the age of 12, and by the age of 17, he had the experience and the confidence to craft his first solo harness for his horse, a mare called Prouès. And he continued to work, gaining experience, and then in 1998, he had the confidence to break away and open his first solo workshop. Continued to work, growing his client list, and off the back of really positive feedback from his clients, he started to craft complementing accessories to the saddles and also the harnesses that he was crafting. Continued to work, growing his client list over the years, to the point where he started crafting leather goods for other French brands. And then in 2004, he entered an incredibly prestigious French competition called Meilleure Ouvrière de France, MOF for short, and literally translated it means the best craftsman in France. And it's a competition that's run across numerous industries and various disciplines within those industries. So for example, within the hospitality, there's the segment for sommelier, waiter, chef. Within horticulture, for example, florist, landscape gardener. Within leather goods, there is saddle and harness making, amongst other leather goods categories. And Monsieur Hanna entered within the category of saddle and harness making. And he entered the competition because he wanted to end a component of his business that had largely been associated with saddle and harness making, but introduce alongside an equal importance the leather goods. So it was a business that was focused on saddles, harness making, and leather goods. And so he entered the competition. And the competition is incredibly intense. There's a lot of really tough theoretical and practical tests. And he went on to win the competition in 2004. And he became known as the best craftsman in France within saddle and harness making. And winning the competition just helped to significantly raise his profile and bolster his reputation as a credible player within the leather goods space. And then in 2014, they opened their leather goods brand, Prouès by David Hanna. Prouès by David Hanna sits very comfortably within premium core level of luxury. That is bags that are typically priced between £1,500 through to £3,000. I'm going to attach above a video where I talk in detail about the different levels of luxury. If you are new to my channel and you haven't watched that video, please do, because it really helps you to understand what you should be getting at each level of luxury. With Prouès, the majority of their bags are priced around €2,000. Some are a little above, some are a little below, and that depends on the size of the bag, the leather used, also the style, and in turn the level of detail that has gone into the bag. With Prouès, what you are getting first and foremost is prestige. It's a brand that's truly, confidently, proudly French. French designed bags, French made, French leather, French hardware, and I'd even hazard a guess, I haven't been told, I haven't asked the brand yet, they also use French thread. You are getting incredibly solid craftsmanship. If I was to split premium core into two halves, I'd very confidently place Prouès in the top half. Their creative director is award winning, and their bags are either machine stitched but hand operated machine stitching, or they are saddle stitched. The bag on the side, it's part of one of their front running styles, Loquet, and it's a limited edition bag, entirely saddle stitched throughout, and the hardware is made from really solid weighted wood that has been hand chiseled. Quality of the materials they use to craft the bags are the very best. The leathers, they're exceptional. Leather has always been one of France's areas of expertise. The two front-running countries when it comes to leathers are Italy and France. But what France have done over the years is they've whittled down their number of tanneries to about 40-45 tanneries. And they are focused on crafting the very best leathers in the industry. And they're doing an absolutely outstanding job. And so Prouès only source French leathers from one of their tanneries, and depending on the style, the look you're going for, they will choose the very best for you. The hardware is solid weighted palladium, it's not going to tarnish. And as I mentioned, I'd very confidently be willing to gamble and say the thread they use is French, typically I would say from their top thread brand, Oceanois. And you're also getting exclusivity. When you walk into the boutique, if you see a bag you like, you can purchase it and leave. But what they are focused on is crafting limited quantities of each style, in the colors, in the leathers. But what's really important, and I highly recommend with Prouès, is going for the customization option. You can customize the thread, the leather, and the color of your bag. And they have access to all of the French tanneries. So the world's your oyster when it comes to mixing and matching different types of leathers and colors and threads, for example. And you can create something absolutely outstanding and unique to yourself, and something I would highly recommend. Their customization option, if it's something fairly straightforward, it's typically a 2-week turnaround. But something that's a little more complex, then it's typically 4 to 8 weeks to turn around. There are 4 bags I would like to talk to you about, just as a way of introducing the brand to you. And the first one is a style, one of 2 actually, that I particularly like. And they are 2 styles I like, just based on aesthetic. I didn't think too deeply about anything in terms of really inspecting the bags, looking at the details, the craft, the finish. It was just based purely on the look. The first style is the Hollister. And I like 3 things about the Hollister in equal measure. I like the shape of the bag, I like the color, and I like the hardware. I already have a red bag, so I very nearly pulled the trigger on the bag. But I literally stepped outside the boutique and took a deep breath and thought, you know what, think about it. There's no rush. Possibly even mix and match some leathers. Really think about what you would like to do in terms of the aesthetic, maybe something different. But I particularly like the brick red color. It's a bag that's 27 centimeters in length. All of the styles are saddlery inspired, as you can see. The inside of the bag is one big cavernous compartment, and then on one side there's a zipped pocket. The bag has what I can call semi-attached strap. I like the strap. I prefer the bag with the strap. I'm told the bag can come with the option, I think, to remove, or it can actually be sold to you without the strap. I'm not too sure, but you can have the option to remove it. I like the strap. I think it really adds to the overall aesthetic. I also like the hardware. I haven't seen hardware like this anywhere else. It's part of what's called the diamond collection. So it's almost cut like a diamond. It really adds to the bag. So the color, the shape, the diamond hardware, I like the size of the bag. I think it's absolutely perfect for my build. I'm petite in height and build. It works really well, the size. I think it's an absolutely beautiful bag, and it's a strap that's all the way attached all the way around the bag, and the little pockets around the bag. The second style I'd like to talk about is a style called the Equinoxe, And the shape of the Equinoxe is the half moon. And the half moon is a very popular shape at the moment. So this is their take of the half moon shape. Permanently attached strap. I like the thickness, the width of the strap. I like that. I think it's comfortable. I think it's elegant. I just don't like thin straps. I also like, the shape is lovely. And I like the almost butterfly effect on the bottom of the bag. One big cavernous compartment with a slip pocket on the front of the bag under the flap over, and another slip pocket on the back of the bag. Cavernous compartment with a zipped pocket on one side. And it's just an interesting take, their own interesting take, which is a little more elaborate in comparison to what is readily available at the moment in the market and at a fraction of the price. When I think, for example, of what the Row is offering at possibly double, if not triple the price. And then the last two styles I'd like to talk about are their front running styles. The Loquet and the Intrepide both come in two size options. The Intrepide, it's two sizes, a smaller and a larger size. The smaller size is 21 centimeters in length and the bigger size is 25 centimeters in length. The bag comes with an additional strap, adjustable, detachable strap. And the bag on the inside is made up of two equal sized compartments. And then in the middle, a zipped pocket. And then on one side, the other side of the bag, just one side, is a fairly sizable slip pocket. And then on the underside, 4 feet, just to elegantly raise the profile of the bag. With the Intrepide, it's a bag I highly recommend. Go to town, mixing and matching leathers, the color, something different, something unique, something stand out. And then the final style is made up of two different shapes within the range called Loquet. The first is the top handle. It's just one size with the top handle. And it's on the inside, the two equal size compartments, the zipped pocket in the middle, and then on one side is a fairly sizable slip pocket. And the bag also comes with an additional adjustable, detachable strap. My only gripe with the bag is I personally don't like the attachments on the side for the additional strap. They are small, they are more on the discreet side. I just don't like the shape. I'd have liked something maybe flat, something you barely see, something you barely notice. So that's just a personal gripe, but otherwise it's a beautiful, very well made, crafted bag. The finish, the level of detail, the execution of the edge coating, it reminds me of the Ramesh Nair Moina coating, edge coating. And then the second style, which is my favorite, and in particular in the Novo Napa. Absolutely exquisite bag. I like the shape. I like the difference, how different the shape is. I haven't seen anything else like this in the market. I like the leather. I like the shape. I like the permanent strap. And I like the fact that with the permanent strap, you can carry the bag in 3 different ways. You could actually dress it up, dress it down. It's an incredibly versatile bag. It's a day to evening bag as well. And it's just one size. Inside of the bag is just one solid cavernous compartment with a zipped pocket on the one side. So that is Prouès by David Hanna in a nutshell. An absolutely stunning find for 2025. A brand I'll carry into 2026. And I look forward to exploring other styles that they have and getting a really good understanding of the leathers and just mixing and matching and doing something interesting and crazy with one of their bags. Absolutely amazing value. You are getting access to the very best quality leathers, not only in France, but globally within the leather goods space. And they're crafting bags that are crafted to an incredibly high standard, very well finished at a fraction of the price of the aspirational brands. So if you're somebody who's not beholden to the hype of buying a bag associated with one of the known brands, Fendi, Givenchy, Prada, Miu Miu, Gucci, for example, but you just want something that's good, honest, solid quality, then I really can't recommend Prouès by David Hanna highly enough. Any thoughts, any questions, as always, please let me know in the comments section down below.